Hey, I'm Will and Noble Locksmith, and you're watching my YouTube channel, Car Key Wizard. I'm an automotive locksmith, and while I definitely don't know it all, I have learned some tricks along the way that I hope will help you while you're out in the field. One thing you can do to help me out, though, would be to subscribe to my channel. And if you like my videos, leave a comment or ask a question, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I make a lot of videos, so if there's something you'd like to learn more about or a video you'd like to see on a car we're working on, just let me know in the comments and I'll put it up as soon as I can. Thanks, and I hope you enjoy watching my videos.
Good morning, Noble Locksmith fam. We got a POS Range Rover 2004. Looks like a LR something. It doesn't really matter. All we know is it's a keyed ignition, and first thing you're going to look at is where is the ignition on these. Now this is actually a Range Rover Sport, I bet. Yeah, the HSE. So 3 places the ignition is going to be on these. One, where this one is down by the gear shift. The second spot is going to be right here on the dash, and the third is your traditional on the steering column. So for this one, the module you need is down under here. Look at that. No way I'm going to break any of this pulling it out. If it's right here on the dash, it's going to be up under a speaker that's right up here. Those are real fun to get to. I don't even pull the box whole module out with those. I actually just pull out the board, the PCB on it. And if it's right here on the steering column, that's a CEM module, and it's going to be down underneath the glove compartment on the side on the kick plate. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this one out. I'm going to try to get some power on this car because the seat's way too close, and I'll be back in a second to get started. All right, so first thing we're going to do is start pulling this apart, getting this trash out of here. Only a tow yard would put money into something like this, man. It's crazy. So what we do is lift this up. This piece pops out onto the side, and you got 2 screws here. I'm gonna pull those out. They're already broken. God, it seems like I did this job before, man. This just reminds me of just a piece of junk. So then you got 2 screws here on this side, 2 screws here on this side, and you want to try to just unplug these wires underneath here because you gotta get this up all the way out of the way, and the module is down in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this stuff off, get it out of the way, and then show you how you get the module out. All right, so we got the screws out, we got this up out of the way. You can see this was already broken, but makes it a little bit easier for us. So there's our module right there. You can see the top of our LEAR EWS module. So there's a screw on there that I have found to be pretty impossible to get off. I'm going to try it one more time with a small, it's like a number 8. I'm going to try it with a small ratchet, but usually I just take a chisel and I just break off both sides of that plastic to get it out. Because I'm a Neanderthal, and that usually works for me. So I'm gonna grab a couple of tools and try to get that out, and then I'll tell you how I did it. Okay, this one actually came out this way, so I just pulled it straight up out of here, and there it is, our EWS3 LEAR module. All right, so it's EWS3 LEAR module. So and all we got to do and go to the van. All right, we got our LEAR module, and I love these little these pry tools. They're made for keys, but they just open everything up so easily and safely. So you get that open. It's just like an EWS. You got to get all 4 of these clips down at the same time on the bottom and push that down. Slide that guy out, and boom, there you go. So now we are going to get out our AK90. What a beautiful tool. If you get one of these, get two, because they're really, really cheap, and they're really, really cheap. All right. So this is what is referred to, I guess, as the plunger. I'll put an arrow on it to know where our 0 is. And if you look right there, if you can see it, it's a little dot on there. And so we're going to first thing plug in AK90. There we go. And what you also need to do is get some conformal coating remover and a little, I like a little, oh great. I just have a little, clean that up later, a little X-Acto knife with a kind of a dullish blade is, I think, better, because you're just going to want to clean up the sides of this. Clean some of that conformal coating remover on it, off of it, and literally you just want to kind of scrape down the side, get it cleaned up. You can see the shine come out on it when you do it. I just clean it up again to get all anything I've scraped off out of the way. All right, so now let's open up AK90. There it is. All right, she's a reading. All right, so you're going to use EWS read write, and then you have to select your MCU. So that's the mask it's asking for, and this is a 0D46J. You probably can't read it on the screen, but it's just right there. You just read that. So that's always what comes up, and that's almost always what you're going to read. So then you're just going to say, oh, okay, it gave us a picture. Huh, look at that. So that's what it's going to look like if you look in close. Now we're going to read that guy. Mustn't read 2D47J. Okay, cool, we're not. All right, please connect EWS to port. It is connected, and then you just want to give a kind of a nice little firm push down on that. The problem that happens with these is the plungers go bad, and you got to get firmer and firmer and firmer until you just got to buy a new one. But up here you can see we're reading. All right, so beautiful. Now what I do, and I forgot to do, is get the VIN number.
A&R. I was in the A&R.
How you doing?
Hey, good man, how's it going?
And I seen some other dealership in there. So I went on Pop's Ramadan on Market on Facebook. So I went on his page.
All right, I get the VIN number because once we have this data, we never have to do this again in order to make a key. So we're going to make a folder called 4alpha15 1830 2004 range Rover. So now we got our folder, so then we're going to save that. You can see yesterday I did a 2007 C-Class, so we're going to save the bin file into this folder. Save bin file, okay. So I mean that part's done, right? You got the data you need. Folder. You can just put that back together. Goes clipped in. Boom. So there is the other LEAR module that you do have to EEPROM. It does not have this same chip. That's the one that's up on the dash under the speaker. And fairly simple EEPROM. It actually has pin-out holes for you to solder to, so you don't have to, like, it's not difficult. So what we want to do now is write the key back, or make the key. So I got our diamond shaped keys from Noble Lock Supply, and then all you do is you take your key, slide it in your AK90, and rest it like so. And then we're going to right key. We're going to we're going to load bin file. Okay, it automatically pulled to the folder we saved it in, so we're just going to load that. There's our bin file. Then we're going to right key. All right, so we've got key 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is already used, so that's fine. So we're just going to select key number 1. We're going to write it because this is a 7935 transponder chip, so we're going to select that, and we're going to select right key, put key into coil, yes.
You got a snap top in here and everything.
And there you go. It's going to verify what we're doing. You can hear it clicking, and you can see it saying it's verifying. It stopped clicking. I have had this fail before, and but it's still written. So, like, for some reason the verification didn't work, but the key still worked because it was written properly. And this thing is just old and annoying sometimes. And the next thing we're going to do is pick the door in order to get a key code. So it says write error. So let's test this key. Alright, this is key number 1 on let's try a reader. Let's try to write her again. Load bin file and right key. We'll just do a new one. You can reuse 7935 chips. You cannot reuse 7936 chips. If this doesn't work, I'm grabbing Tango and it'll work. Tango is a beast. It's not that expensive. And it's excellent for transponder reading and writing, and nothing can really touch it. Because the AK90, well, it's really great for reading. It's really easy. It kind of sucks sometimes. So we're going to go to Rover. Alright, we got another write error, so we're done with you, guy. So let's open this file with Tango. I picked the wrong car. EWS. All right, so in this, it's a EWS 3, so I just went through BMW, cars, EWS 3, and then clicked on the F for file and loaded that file. All right, and see this one has 5 that are, the first 5 that are also. So I'm just gonna put our chip in here, our key in here, and click write 7935 chip. All right, something might be wrong with this key.
Hey, can I sit right here, boss? Yeah, you already married, so that's
Can I take a little seat right here?
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
I'm an old guy, man. I got rested knees.
All right, so we just put a new key in there. We're gonna try to write again.
Yeah, you don't want that.
All right, you see it's writing now.
That's a tough office you got, man.
I like this. I like this.
I need
All right, so now we want to see what the key is. We can explore the key and see that's key 0. They call it key 0, but it's key 1, obviously. And get any information off of it. So there you go. I'm gonna go pick the door and come back and cut this key. I think we just had a bad key in AK90, so maybe it wasn't old AK90's fault. It was just a bad key. So literally, the next step is to cut this key. Car will start, and then program the remote. So I'll see you in a bit. All right, we're back at it. We got our code. You know we know how to pick these easy little HU92s. So as good as I am, man, I still like to use a test blade. So instead of buying, the full-size test blades for stuff these days, I've just been buying the flip blades in bulk. You can get them as cheap as like 20 cents, 10 cents a piece, because they're throwing them away. We still have our test blanks for non-trans cars, but man, I want to see if this 0991 code is going to be right. So let's do a key database, BMW, of course, even though we're working on a Range Rover. Let's say 0991, double check that. Yes, sir. Confirm it. It's going to be that 01 to 8100 HU92. Probably on C, no, B. B. So let's slide that bad boy in there. We're gonna go all the way to the end on my Condor Mini Plus. We're gonna cut it. And then we gotta go put this bad boy back in there. So I'm gonna do that while that's doing its first side cut. Got my vice grips holding up the hood, because you know these ain't gonna have enough gas and no shock. So I'm just gonna plug this back in for now, see how she do. And this is an electronic ignition, so the interesting thing is that cut doesn't have to be perfect, and it'll still turn that ignition on a lot of them. Same thing with like a Sprinter or this van. This cut doesn't, you could just make up whatever cut you want for that key in my van, or any real Sprinter or any Mercedes, and it'll still turn that ignition because it doesn't care. All it wants to feel is that transponder, and then it's going to release. So let's cut this side and dust it off. And this is the key we're going to use, of course. Let's go ahead and see if she's got some juice. We're going to find out what's up with this bad boy right here. Let's read that transponder. Yeah, just reading. So I don't know why I was wrong with that key. I don't know. I'm not going to throw it away. I'm going to try it again one day. I'm not going to throw it away. Keys are too damn expensive. Alright, we got that key cut. So let's grab a pair of pliers. Let's see if she turns the door. All right, Now it will not turn this ignition because I don't have a transponder. See that? Not going to turn. This is an electronic ignition. But after we crack this key in my pocket, it will turn. Cut this. I'll be back in a few. Alright, I want to show y'all guys something I just did. So, you know, I got this car started. Now we go back, key won't turn, right? You're like, oh shit, what did I do? Known failure point on these, and this is how you test it. So we're gonna go take power off of our battery just for a second, put it back on. Really? Let's put power back on. And watch this. Alright. So it's running, right? It wouldn't do that. You couldn't get it to move. Alright, car's running. You know, sounds like crap, but it's running. Alright, let's take it out. Let's try it again. Nothing. So what the hell? Every time I replace the battery, car starts. It is a steering lock failure. It's all electronic. This car's a piece of junk. It's been sitting forever. Steering lock fail. So what you tell the customer is, you can show them this. Car starts. You have a steering lock failure. I don't have any, damn it. You can get a plug and play steering lock emulator for these. They're like 25, 30 bucks offline. Charge the customer, you know, whatever extra you want. All you got to do is pull this clamshell off and literally unplug it from the steering lock module and plug it into that, and then you'll have a car that starts. So I'll show you guys again one more time. That car will not start right now, even though it already did. We can see it won't. So let's turn off power, pull the battery. Come on, baby. Why are you working with me? Put it back on. Let's give it power again. So that's just going to give you trouble. You can tell the customer, hey, you want to do that every time you want to drive the car? More power to you. Or you can pay me to come back, or you can pay me now to put this steering lock, fix this steering lock. So up to them at that point. So now your job's done. Once I get a steering lock, once I get an emulator, I'll probably be back out here and I'll show y'all how to do that. But for now, we're done because we can't program this to remote, because we can't turn the ignition on and off like we need to. So we're done here. See y'all soon.